So apparently, Steve has been announced as a character in the newest Blue's Clues reboot. I was surprised that he decided to join the show again after that dark and sad Blue's Clues Memory Time episode. Recently, I decided to rewatch the original show on Nickelodeon. Nostalgia came flooding back into my life as I learned basic facts about my childhood with Steve. But Steve himself wasn't as child-friendly as he seemed after I watched that dreaded episode. And I was unlucky enough to see a sequel that was broadcasted on Nickelodeon at midnight. The episode was titled An Unforgettable Past, and it was directed by Steve only. And in this episode, he was a detective, like in the reboot. He had his own office and camera that he used to document his investigations. He received a call from his old house's address. That shocked him, as, of course, his house was abandoned. I mean, nobody lived there. With shaking hands and uncertainty, he picked up the phone and heard his own voice talking about quotes from its prequel, such as this. Where am I? Who am I? I was lied to, undereducated, and alone. Steve turned off the phone and threw it on the floor. He removed his detective hat. He had a bruised forehead, which meant that, of course, he must have survived the brick incident. He was also bald. But this was the only call he received for a long while, so he had no choice but to go back to his abandoned, dilapidated house. So he drove there and searched it. There was that brick that he used on the floor. It had a paw print over it, and he was disgusted by it. He drew it on his notebook and kept exploring his backyard. There he had found a broken display with a picture of his family, also having a paw print over it. Steve drew it, and he started to get a bad feeling as he heard more quotes of his past in the bathroom. He slowly moved towards the door and opened it. There were 3 people that seemed to be blind. One was holding a camera, another was holding a microphone, and the last one was the director. They were all smiling menacingly, and Steve was infuriated by their presence. Get out of my home! He pointed to the exit, but they did not respond or listen to him, so he decided to handcuff them all. You're under arrest for trespassing and messing with me. As he handcuffed them, he saw his imaginary friends. They all seemed unhappy as they surrounded Steve. Leave me alone! The characters started to harass Steve by swearing at him and laughing at him. Steve grabbed his face as it started to hurt. The blind gang started to run away. But Steve was able to get his composure, and he ran through the characters. The gang was about to reach the exit. Steve decided to say the following to the camera. Don't trust strangers, or you may end up like I did. Steve grabbed a revolver and ran outside, and a gunshot was heard. The episode stopped and restarted, with the reboot's Steve and Joe cameos on Josh's iPad. That part of the episode was as it should have been. It abruptly ended there as commercials played. And I was shocked that this played on Nickelodeon. I contacted Steve's phone number and called him. I'm surprised I still had his number, actually. I asked him as for why he broadcasted the episode. and he responded with this. I apologize. This was never meant to be broadcasted. I made that episode myself and was planning to release it on DVD. I rated it for mature audiences, obviously. I have no idea who broadcasted it, Flint, and from what I can tell, it was most likely one of the directors of that Forsaken episode. The episode was created to express the end of Steve's troubled past. That's why he killed the directors of the show, as shown with the gunshot. The ending was meant to explain the newest generation of Steve's life, which is in the reboot. I'll make sure to remove the episode from Nickelodeon Studios.